Alright, this is 7th grade math, 3.2, page 177 in the book. Not 177, sorry, 117 in the book. So we have some vocabulary to go over. Bar graph, line graph. Okay, a bar graph is it's on page 117 in your book. It visually represents data, and so does a line graph, but the difference is a bar graph uses bars, which is kind of obvious, and a line graph plots points and then connects them with a line. And we'll look at those in the examples. And then graphs always have a horizontal axis and a vertical axis, which is really the x-axis and the y-axis. Horizontal is the horizontal line right there. Vertical is the vertical line. So there's some vocabulary. Let's see what they have us doing here. Making a bar graph. It says you can represent data visually using a bar graph. In a bar graph, the links of the bars are used to represent and compare data. So to decide whether or not we want to use a bar graph, you usually take a look at your data, and this data right here, since this right here is a category, a destination, it would be best to show it in a bar graph, and then the size of the bars will be reflected depending on the number right here. You see 77 is the biggest number, so your scale needs to fit accordingly. So they make pretty good bar graphs, so I'll let them do this here. They decided to go by 15s and go up to 90, and unless they tell you to do that, I don't care. I would probably have gone by 10s if I was to make this graph on my own. Notice that all good graphs have a title right here, and they label the axes. Now right here I think I would probably put destination, because you should label this down here. Sorry, I can't read it very well. You have the bar. It says include horizontal grid lines. It's the I want just used to put it on graph paper. All bars should have the same width. Notice these all have the same width, and if you remember, this one was 77, so it's just a little bit higher than 75. So make a bar graph in the guided practice now of this data shown, and if I can start it down here a little bit. First thing I do is I look at the numbers I'm going to graph, and I see 133 is the highest number, so I know I need to pick an increment that I can get to 133, maybe by 20s. I don't have bar graphs, or graph paper, so 60, 80, 100, 120, and 140. Title, weekday, ... You can write it museum visitors. This is number of visitors. And this down here will be what day. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And your graph paper works really well for that. Give Monday one of the spaces. Monday has 115. So I would go up right here between 110 and 120, make a bar, color it in. Tuesday 113, which is just a little bit smaller than 1, make a bar. Wednesday 133, go up. Okay, and if I had graph paper, it would be prettier. 56 might be right there, and 84 would be somewhere right there. We'll see what theirs looks like. They make it, look at how much nicer theirs is, but same idea. Notice the bars, and we should put a title. They don't have a very good title on the top of theirs. Notice they did label this axis down here in this bottom, day and number of visitors. Alright, example number 2, making a double bar graph. The table shows the sports participation of students at a school. Now, the thing about a double bar graph is, notice over here there is 2 sets of data. There is boys and there's girls for one sport. So we'll have 2 bars for soccer, 2 for basketball, and so forth. One will be for boys, one will be for girls. It's nice to pick maybe 2 different colors for that. And I usually, up here you're going to make a key. And you would say boys, let's just go ahead and have the boys be red, girls, let's see, how about if we make the girls be green. Okay, so let me go back to my colors here. I look, in the highest number in all the data is 26, so I know I have to be up 20. I'm going to go by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. This is number of students. This is the sport. Okay, so let's do the boys first. Soccer. For the boys, there's 26, so I'd go up to 26, make a bar, color it in, and then I'd change my color back to my green. Girls is 20, so there's soccer. And then I'd go back to my red, and I would do basketball. Boys is 17, so I'd go up to 17. Girls is 21. There's the girls. So you get the idea on that. Let's see what theirs looks like. Maybe theirs will be a little prettier than mine. Theirs is a lot better than mine. There's the boys and the girls. And it's really nice to compare, especially look at track and field on that. Let me get rid of what I did here. Look at track and field. It's very easy in a graph to say, hey, there's the same amount right there. It's exactly the same. So that's kind of neat as far as that goes. Example number 3. I don't know if we have any. Oh, we did the first guided practice was that bar graph that we made. A line graph shows the number of entries in the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta from 1999 to 2004. What conclusions can you make about the line graph? So this is interpreting a line graph. Interpreting is just a fancy word for saying that we're going to read the line graph. Well, what can we say? We can say that from 1999 to 2000, the entries increased. From 2000, almost every year. Let's see, 2000 to 2001, they decreased a lot. 2001 to 2002 decreased a little. 2002, 2003 still decreased just a little, and then from 2003 to 2004, it slightly increased. So it shows the same thing, that kind of what we were saying right there. We just kind of analyzed it between each year. Example 4, making a line graph. Use the table to make a line graph of the number of cellular phone subscribers from 1998 through 2003. What can you conclude? So when we start to make a line graph right here, we notice with a line graph, usually both sets of data are numbers. The year, always, anytime you have year in information, it should go on your x-axis, and these are going to go right on the line. This is 98. This is 99. You know, when you would have graph paper, this is 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. The highest number is 159. So I'm thinking, boy, I don't know. I see that they went by 40s. That'd probably be all right to go by. I usually don't go by 40s, but 40, 80, 120, 160, and I don't think I need to go higher than that. And these would all have lines on them. So what you do is, this is number of subscribers in millions, and then this would be cell phone subscribers, and you just plot these points. 1998, you go over to 98, up to 69, where you think 69 is, and you put a dot. Go to 99, and you put a dot where 86 is. 2000, you put a dot at 109. 2001, you put a dot at 128. 2002 at 141. 2003 at 1, might be up just a little high, sorry there. What can I conclude? I see that every year the numbers went up. And you can see that in the dots because they got higher. Let's see, they probably made a lot prettier graph than I did. There's their graph, and they're plotting the points. Notice that, just like we did. And over here where it says include evenly spaced horizontal and vertical grid lines, if you're making it on a graph paper, it will be. So, and it said it climbs steadily. I just said they increased, and that's still meaning the same thing. Okay, so make a double bar graph of the data about a school band. Right, we got 7th graders and 8th graders. We got students in the band, so I'm going to get my graph ready. This is going to be grade. Okay, so we have 7th grade and 8th grade, and we'll pick a different color there for those. Let's see, the highest number is 7. I'm going to count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8. And this is going to be number of students. And the first thing we're going to graph is the flute. And what do you say? Let's pick some colors here. So our first color, let's do orange for the 7th grade. And let's do, we're going to do yellow for the 8th grade. I don't know if that'll come out very good. Oop, I kind of lost my, it didn't freeze on me again. Kind of lost my thing here. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. There it is, right there. Ooh, that's really hard to see. Hopefully that'll work. We'll do it. Flute. Go back to orange. So for 7th graders, they had 5 play the flute. So there's my 7th grade. For 8th grade in the yellow, I had 8. Oh, I know, it's hard to find. I can't see my cursor. That's why I can't find it. Okay, then you go to the next one, which is going to be the clarinet. And for 7th grade, I had 7 clarinet players. So I'm going to go up to 7 and make the bar. And for 8th grade, I've got 4. Okay, and you guys continue on. You have the saxophone, you have the trumpet, and the drums. You go ahead and finish your graph on that. It's just a nice double. The nice thing about a double bar graph is it can compare 2 sets of data. So that's the advantage of having a double bar graph. And there's what it looks like when it gets done. I'll just let that finish. Notice saxophone, it's the same number. Okay. What conclusions can you make about the double bar graph in exercise 2? There's lots of things. You look back, you can say the same number of 7th and 8th graders play the saxophone. More 8th graders play flute than 7th graders. More 7th graders play flute than 8th graders. That's the types of things they want you to say on questions like that. Make a line graph of the number of people in line. So let's get it. I'll help you get that thing set up. Let's see if I still have it yellow. Let me get a different color here that we can see. So get your graph paper ready. You're going to put the title, number of people in line. And this is going to be people. No, this is going to be time on the x-axis. Number of people. What do we got? 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12, 2, 4, and 6. And the highest number is 18. Let's go by threes. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. And this is all on your graph paper. So at 8 a.m., there's 11. So we put a dot where 11 is. 10 is 4. 12 is 18, it goes all the way back up, and then you would connect these as you go. hard for me. I don't have a ruler. 2 is 6, so it's coming down here. 4 o'clock there were 9 people in line. And 6 o'clock it went up a little more to 12. See their line graph. Okay, a little better than mine, but notice when they only did their scale here by 2s, so it makes the graph seem a lot bigger. Hey, why are there more people? You know, look at what happened between 8 and noon. It dipped down because not many people go to eat at a fast food restaurant. At noon, a lot of people go eat, you know, at the fast food restaurant, and then again at 6. You can tell the peak times. Breakfast, here's lunch, and here's dinner right here. Alright, so one thing I want you to remember when you're making your graphs is to title and label both axes, or I'll mark those wrong, and make them on graph paper, cut and paste, or if the whole lesson has a lot of graphs, then just do the whole lesson on graph paper to save you the cutting and pasting. So we'll see you next time.